What is up, guys? Hope you guys are well. Today I'll be talking about email deliverability. I'll be going over the tech, the copy, and the footers. And the reason I'm making this video is for you to not have spent tens of thousands of dollars on deliverability coaches and footers that you'd have to pay for, or join programs that just cost way too much money, or overpriced and whatnot. But so my goal is to just teach you all this, and whether you're a beginner or you're a seasoned business owner, my hope is that it will help you. So let's get into it. So email deliverability really comes to three things. It's your tech, it's your copy, and then you can improve that with having certain footers. Now, there's a basic footer that you can have. Most people don't even have a footer. And then there's a really nuclear level footer that I paid a lot of money for, which I'm going to share completely for free, that you can copy or ask me if you need it, and I'll send you a copy of this doc. So, and then at the end, I'll actually give you another bonus tip that has helped me out and a lot of our clients as well. So anyways, to really go off the bat, you want to have a business domain, not like a Gmail, not like a private personal domain. You want to have a business domain, right? So if it's, for example, for me, it's conan@copyandclients.com. Now, for you, you can have help at, enteryourbusinessname.com, or info at, or notifications at, or reply at, whatever. You just want to build it up. And you want to have these authentication protocols already verified that tells Google that, hey, I have a real domain. And what that requires is you to have these three factors. Pretty much you need to have the DMARC, the DKIM, and SPF. And really, if you want to test this, whether or not you have it, you can go to any email or send yourself an email. And for example, I just opened up a random email here, right, on Gmail. You hit these three dots and you hit show original, and it will show you whether or not you have an SPF. So it should say pass on all three. And realistically, you could get a pass, but you want to have pass with a certain IP address, right? Because, and I'll talk about IPs, but you want to send from one dedicated IP. Hence why IP sharing often flags as scam or spam at times. So DKIM, you want to pass with your domains that you're sending from. And then DMARC, it's a fairly simple code. And I've put all the codes here that you can look at, copy, paste, if you want. I'll put these in the description as well. That way you have it. You want to have, obviously I was talking about it, you want to have a dedicated sending domain, right? So you want to have your own domain, a business domain, not just some random domain. Also, you want to have a domain that's warmed up. So, don't just go buy a domain on GoDaddy or Google and start sending emails right away. It's going to hurt you so much. Hence, we did cold emails for a while, and we'd have to wait at least 2 weeks of constant warming up, meaning we're sending emails to known accounts and they're replying back and forth in order to even warm up the process. So there's that. You want to make sure you have a good list, meaning you don't have high bounce rates that, kill deliverability. At times, we had to, when we're running events or when we're running, we're managing big lists, we often have to look at, okay, did somebody type the email wrong? Because you get thousands of opt-ins, hundreds of thousands of opt-ins, million opt-ins. You need to make sure that there aren't any invalid or inactive emails. So, we need to we'd always hit Command F and be like search up .con, or, and it'll come up and it'll oh crap, you'll notice 20 people have wrong emails inputted, or, they'd have the wrong number in there. So you just want to make sure that those are all correct. IP reputation, I was just talking about this with the DKIM process. You want to make sure you have the right IP, or you're sending from a dedicated IP. Irregular sending times. At times, I'll see people who do not segment their list properly, or who do not have, who send emails Monday, but then they send an email 3 months later. That's not good. Or send emails a week later. You want to have some sort of a rhythm when it comes to the time you send emails, the days you send emails, and how often you send emails, because Google really looks at all of that. Now, If you want to look at where you stand, you can use a tool called the Google Postmasters tool. You can literally just go on Google, search it up, click on Google Postmasters, you hit get started, you enter an account. So for example, I was doing this for a client. Obviously it's verified, but I added it last year. We had to check where they were, if there were any spam reports, and you can actually check. Google will actually tell you where you stand. So you can look at spam reports, and if you go up here, you could see which ones. You can look at your IP reputation. Okay, it's not displaying. You can look at your domain reputation. You can see it's medium. You can, obviously want high. You can look at your authentication, right? It's 100%, meaning our DKIM SPF and DMARC is also great. So you want to have these factors all good to go. So these are what I like to call the tech side of things. Yeah. Now let's jump into the copy side of things. I love to use millimeter every time I write an email. So and then you want to make sure that and I'll show you an example real quick with millimeter as well, but you want to avoid spammy language, right? So like buy now, free, act fast, risk-free, like caps at times, dollar signs. You want to make sure that these are all, not there or said in a different way. No unsubscribe link, or I know at times people would like just whiten it out because the background would be white, or gray it out because it'll show it. Google, Yahoo, and all these platforms are way too smart right now. They're utilizing AI right now, and that just it actually hurts you more than it helps you. And then I've seen this 100 times where like they'll include like 100 space bars, so the unsubscribe button is like so far below that people won't even scroll that far. Like I've seen that, which is, it's up to you on how you want to do it. Certain from names. Now, this used to be like a huge email strategy, right? So like we'd like imagine like you sent from Dr. whatever, right? And then like, or like bread. Imagine like you were talking about food and you had an email sent from Tuna or Dr. Tuna, or like it would be like a funny thing that would get a very high open rates. Or like you sell from like some certain health supplements, like their names as the from name. But now Google is cracking down on that. So you guys want to make sure that you're not utilizing that. And also team members, you want to make sure that you're sending it from their domains, and their domains are warmed up rather than yours. Because at times Google will look at it like, for example, if it was me, it would say Conan Shaw and then add somebody on my team and their from name. Google will be like, wait, hold up, that's not Conan Shaw. Like, what's happening, right? So like you just want to make sure that you have at least somewhat of a domain name inside of the from name. So there's the copy thing. Now I know I promised you guys a mail media thing, but like so I'm just gonna go real quick, get an email. So I just put in an email in here, and you can tell it gave me an overall score of poor, right? You could see that. And by the way, mail meteor is by far one of the hardest thing to crack. Like it will tell you like, oh, this is not good, this is bad, this is whatever. If you put percentages, you could see it's very harsh. You could see offers, get, here, perfect, sales, but watch. Like that's fine, right? Apparently, right? So you could see like which words are there, which words are not. The more orange it is, the harder it is. The less the coloration, the unnatural, they don't really care. You could see the free money. You could see like it's very bad in that sense. So you just want to make sure it's good. You want to get at least not poor but somewhat decent reputation here. Then so and then lastly, I'll just go into the footers just so you can bypass Google's wall of spam, right, or promotion, right? So I got this from Troy Erickson. I paid $6,000 to be in his program, and then the only reason I joined was this. I don't really need the email stuff, but it was the sole reason was for this footer. I probably could have gotten it for a lot cheaper, but anyway, so you guys can copy this or message me on Instagram or something, and I'll send this over to you. But it's pretty much the at business name. We strongly recommend blah 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 blah. It's just helpful information to show Google that, hey, we're a legit business. We do legit stuff. And I'll say this for footers, right? So like footers help you get into the inbox, not on the promo. And, it just, gets you in the primary inbox. But this is heavily dependent on the type of business you're in. So if you're a biz op, you 100% need it. If you're a software, probably not, right? Because you're already sending hundreds of emails around the software and it's legit stuff. Whereas, in the online marketing space, you're just always sending crazy amount of stuff, which is just like, promo after promo after promo, which can hurt you. So there's that. Now, this is the basic version. I want to talk about the nuclear version I talk about. I paid Matthew Klassen $3,000 just to get this. But really it's just, and I should highlight this. But anyways, I paid a lot of money to get this nuclear deliverability code. So people that are doing like crazy revenue, they use this because they're in biz ops. So one of my clients, they're doing about $20 million a year and they use this, but they're a very heavy biz op type of a client. So there's that. And really at the end of the day, you want to get them to become a contact. And the way you do that is by, if somebody replies twice to you with an email to become a contact, meaning all your future emails will land in primary. So what I like to do at times, and this is just a bonus tip, is anytime they opt into something, I'm like, hey, let me know if you got it, or hey, reply and I'll send you this free thing, always, right? Or within the future, if you want to run a campaign tomorrow to help your deliverability, you can say like, hey, we have this free thing, or hey, how many of you would be interested if we did this free training, and then get them to reply, like reply free training, or reply, success, or reply freedom. Whatever word you want to use in order to help your deliverability. If hundreds of people are replying to you, Google sees that as like, oh, he's just a normal business and people love him and they love doing business with him. And so that is really it. If you do this, I'm sure your deliverability will improve, if not by a little, by a lot. That is my hope. And if you got value out of this, please like the video. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. And if you want to comment, you can comment as well. But thank you. That is all from me, and I hope you have a great day.